here, girl. I know you think it's a game, but it is absolutely not. Okay, this is the energy supplement from Just Move Supplements. That's right. It's damn near all gone, girl, and that's because I had to get that energy up so I can complete the workout, so I can give y'all this body, this transformation, get into it, okay? And I'm done working out now, so that's why we're moving on to the protein shake. Oh yes, it's already in there, girl. It's already made right here. This is the mixture of the banana pudding, the chocolate cake, and the buttercream cupcake. And you really want to be fancy, you can go ahead and add that blueberry muffin if that's what you want to do, girl. But for me, it's these three right here, okay? You put that with some almond milk, you mix it all up in honey, okay? Your muscles have gained life, new energy, agility. Get into it, okay? Just Move Supplements. Thank you very much. Hold up, Chief. Okay, don't forget about that TLC NutriBurst to get that multivitamin pocket, because we all need a little extra. And child, if you want that sea moss that go down smooth, don't come up rough, okay? Get into the TLC Nautica sea moss. Yes, get that from me. And child, if your stomach hurt and you need to move some things around so you can be free, okay, go ahead and get that ISO tea down below in the description box. Get it all from me. Come on in, come on in, come on in, not come on in, not come. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video. Right?
Come on in, come on in, come on in, not come on in. Sorry, I looped it. Hi, y'all. Okay, wait, no, I think I need more light? Don't change, girl. Don't change, 'cause I never. Okay, I'm good now. All right. What's going on, people? You missed the last live, or you're back for this one. This is Weekends on. We're going to get into this week's episode of Family or Fiance, Ready to Love, and then we're going to hop, skip, and jump over to the Belle Collective, girl. They're a mess. They're a little bit of a mess. It's a little bit of a mess. A little tiny bit of a mess. Okay, girl, it's a shit ton of mess over there on Belle Collective, girl. Let me blow these notes up some more. All right. Hey everybody, we're right back like we never left. Okay, if you missed it, well, I'm sorry. Go ahead and catch the playback. Okay, tomorrow we will do Black Ass Bravo and P Valley. All right, y'all, just give me a minute. There are a whole bunch of shows to make notes for, and I have a life to live. All right, so let me see, because I need to do this. Hold on. Don't change, girl. Y'all, Family or Fiance was a hot ass mess. It's the delusions for me. Like, listen, if you're going to do some shit like actively have an affair, use your sister as an alibi, and, you know, ultimately decide to come on a reality show, I'm going to need for you to keep it a buck about what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it a buck. Stop trying to convince us that it's not what we think it is, or that we're confused on some level, because we're not. We're not confused. The sisters aren't confused. No one's confused. Y'all were cheating. Paul and Donzella got together because Donzella wanted to be on television in some capacity. Her husband knew Paul, hooked her up with Paul. She says that she wasn't attracted to Paul at the beginning. A lie, don't care who tell it. Shout out to Roxanne. They've been together for 4 or 5 years now. I don't know what the timeline is. All I know is both of them got divorced in 2020, I believe. Or both of them got divorced in 2018. Child, I can't remember. Either way, they got divorced before the pandemic, I believe. Okay? Their timeline was sketchy as shit, which is why I'm not even about to go through all of that with y'all. Donzella and Paul was cheating. They was cheating, girl. But I'm going to tell you that Sister Alexis, girl, we're going to have a whole fucking conversation. Because at the end of the day, you way too upset. You way too upset to say you was going along with it for, for however long you were going along with it. I don't know how long you were going along with it, but you absolutely went along with it for a little while. You did, girl. But let's get into it. So his sisters do not see it for him or Donzella because of the way the relationship started. Okay. They even went on trips together and shit where it was obvious something was going on. Like I think they posted a picture on Facebook where it looked like they, first of all, girl, you was laying in a bed. I want you to stop lying, telling us that y'all weren't laying down. Y'all were laying down in that picture, that inappropriate picture of you. I didn't see any paint. I saw your body seemingly naked, wrapped in a sheet, and this man who also did not have anything on his shoulders. Okay, he didn't have his tongue out, but he had his face like this towards you, as if y'all were laying in the bed and you took a picture of the two of y'all while y'all were laying in bed after fucking. That's what it seemed like to me. Okay, so please stop playing with us, Paul and Donzella. Okay, playing in our faces. That's the whole problem. This whole episode is that they refuse to admit that they were cheating. Like, you want to be with the semantics. Y'all were cheating. Y'all were cheating. Like, it's already happened. His wife already, like, first of all, her husband found out first. Her husband found out and then went and told his wife. And then his wife kicked his ass out. At the time, his sister Alexis was living with them. So while he was going to pick his shit up on foot because he did not have a place to stay and he did not have a car. And I'm trying to understand, what type of man are you, Paul, that you had connections to get her on television, but you didn't have a place to stay when your wife kicked you out, and you also did not have a car. You were on rough times. It sounds like to me, I mean, I could be wrong, but it sounds like you was bumming off that lady and had the audacity to cheat on her. Yikes. I don't know, but that's what it sounds like. Okay. Either way, Alexis just watched him walk on by because she was never okay with being used. He would say, I'm going somewhere with Alexis, and really be going up to meet with Donzella. And she feeling a way about that. But I'm like, weren't you kind of going along with it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you were kind of going along with it at one point until his wife found out, and then you had to come clean because you didn't want to have to get out the house. Girl, I don't know. But either way, I feel like for Paul to feel like his sister should have upheld him in his wrongness, I want him to stop. Like, I get it. It's fucked up. But what happens when you do something like that is you put yourself in a position to be the bad guy, meaning you can't expect for people to come and save you when you're doing something wrong. Alexis obviously has been cheated on in her life and does not like cheaters. And so you doing this and then using her was despicable to her. But I also need to understand why the fuck she living in the house with you and your wife. Because I feel like it's real easy to judge somebody when you don't have your own shit together, living in their house, ear hustling on their conversations and their arguments. But, I'm going to let it go. Because, I just feel like everybody can be fucked up in one space or another. And there was this judgmentalness about the cheating when it seemed as if you were okay with him lying, using you to lie for a minute. Okay. And now you want to be like real self-righteous about it. Meanwhile, you living in a house with this, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, what? Like, just pull back a little bit. Like, I understand you having your feelings about it. You're entitled. But her energy towards Donzella was extremely annoying to me. And also throughout the episode, not wanting to actually have the conversation. I felt like, Donzella, what are you here for if we're not going to have the conversation and just say what it is? You know what I'm saying? Like, it did feel like partially Donzella and Paul being trash and not wanting to admit that they were trash. And then also Alexis and the other sisters kind of taking on what he did like it happened to them. You didn't get cheated on, Alexis. This wasn't you. The only person that has a right to feel away for real are the husband and wife that they both already divorced and left. So to still have to go through this with you, it just kind of seems like this is your issue that you're projecting onto his issue. He absolutely owes you an apology for putting you in that fucked up situation, but her anger seemed a bit much to me. I'm talking about Alexis. Alexis' anger seemed a bit much to me. But Donzella, you didn't want to keep it a buck, and I was aggravated about the way you were like moving the goalpost. Bitch, you cheated. Stop it. Oh, we hadn't had sex. Oh, I didn't really know when I liked him. Oh, we did it this year. Oh, we did it that year. It doesn't even, I don't even understand why y'all still lying at this point. Y'all done divorced both of them people and moved on now for at least 2 years. At least 2 years y'all have both been divorced. What we still lying for? Make it make sense for me. Because I was just kind of like, just keep it a buck. Just keep it a buck. Like that. Yes, the timeline. Oh, we had sex 2017 on her calendar, 2018 on his. Like, I was just kind of like, child, whatever. Y'all ain't about to put us through all of this because nobody believes you. Okay? At dinner, Donzella says that she wants to resolve things with Alexis. She needs to understand what made Alexis upset, what made her feel like she was deserving of an apology. Because Paul was lying, I guess, and using his sister, but that really didn't have anything to do with Donzella because Donzella wasn't using you to lie. Okay? But I understand that, you know, everybody keeping the shit under wraps was important, I guess, at the time. So it's like, bitch, if I ain't telling nobody, you should be grateful I wasn't telling nobody. Okay? But yeah, moving on from there, Donzella's son feeling like Paul's sisters were jealous of his mother. It might have been some of that a little bit, but I feel like you don't need to have that attitude because your mother is in the wrong in this situation. They had a family already that was basically, disrupted by what happened. But I also feel like as adults, I don't think anybody should be this upset at what other adults do if it don't have nothing to do with them. Like if I'm not getting cheated on, I'm not about to be out here that upset on somebody else's behalf. Life is too short and it ain't happening to me. Like I just don't, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But shit happens. People get cheated on every day, B. Like, you'll be okay. Like, y'all be out here. It's the worst. Child, listen. Call Leon, let's say a prayer. It happened every day, B. Y'all will be okay. I don't know why the sisters were so, at one point they were like crying and shit. I was like, what are y'all crying for? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It was just a lot. I feel like Paul probably felt like they're over exaggerating and trying to have a moment. And I don't want to give them this moment, but I'm going to have to be honest about what's happened in order for me to not be the person to blame. You know what I'm saying? But I still feel like Paul and Donzella were on bullshit with their lack of honesty. They talked to a therapist, and Alexis says that she was put in the middle of him spending time with Donzella. Paul would say he was going places with Alexis to his ex-wife, and, so she wouldn't question anything. Paul says they referred to Donzella as a whore. And that's the thing that Donzella really wants to get rectified between she and Alexis. Alexis swore up and down she never called that lady a whore. Said she didn't use that word. She said if she would have called her anything, she would have called her a bitch. Then that night, she went and looked through her phone and found the text messages. I said, so you mean to tell me you still had the text messages? Y'all argued about whether you called her a hoe for a whole half a day. And you could have went and looked in those text messages at any point in time in order to rectify the situation. But you decided to wait and then go look into the text messages overnight. And then you found that you had actually called her a hoe. And now you want to apologize? Now all is forgiven. Now it's all good. And then when they gave them, like, I think one sister didn't give them her blessing. And that's what made me feel like, yeah, y'all just want to be able to hold something over his head. Like it's some type of weird, I need to be able to control, or I need to be able to divvy out judgment because I don't have anything going on in my life. Like, I don't know. But it just, yeah, the apology was dry as fuck. But I feel like Donzella really wanted to move on. But I think, and I'm going to say this, Donzella's attitude was, child, we grown. I ain't got to make no apologies to you bitches about fucking that lady husband. He about to be my husband now. So now what? And y'all know when people do that shit at this age, then people probably going to be together until they die. Okay, like a lot of times when this shit ends up happening like this, then people don't be like being married for 2 years and divorced and like talking about it. That's young people shit. If these people have been together all this time since they was cheating and now they want to get married, all like, come on, what difference does it make? Oh, I'm gonna withhold my blessing, girl. Why? For what? They grown as fuck. They got grown kids. What is we up here talking about? Like, it was just dumb to me for them to have to have this air of being like parental figures over Paul and Donzella when it's like everybody here is grown. Like, we get it. It's fucked up. They're divorced from those people now. They're together now. They want to get married. Why are y'all upset? Like, yes, it seemed like Paul and his sister's issues come from somewhere else that they need to go to the Lord about. The Quaisha, thank you for the super chat. They glaze over the deeper issues that Paul had with his sisters, given that they had not spoken to each other for 12 years, not even a family background. That was another thing. I also sometimes feel like, and this is what I've said before, Tracy has a tendency to only focus on the women as it pertains to trying to make the women see the error of their ways. Because even in a conversation, she'll say something to Paul, but most of it is geared towards Donzella and how she needs to just be real and be honest about the fact that y'all were cheating together, even though it's both of them. But the energy is still always very towards the woman when it comes to accountability and allowing for the man to just kind of skate by on whatever his issues were that he needed to be held accountable for. I noticed that a lot on Family or Fiance. And they were big mad. Let it go. This happened years ago. 2017, girl. We were pre-pandemic. Like pre-pandemic, girl, who cares? But yeah, then people went on it's like they getting married. And Donzella said that she is not interested in really making up with Alexis. And I wouldn't be willing to make up with her either. Like, girl, you real big mad and judgmental about some shit that's going on between grown people talking about I don't like cheaters. Ma'am, get your own place, okay? And find you a man. Do something. Like, and I say find you a man, but it just means find you some business. That's what it really means. It means find you something to be excited about so that you can stop being so emotionally involved in other people's situations. Because Alexis reverted, backpedal. I don't think Tracy even realized that she's male identified. And I didn't like the family therapist advice either. Child, I was like glazing through most of that. But anyway, y'all, that's it for Family or Fiance. Like the video, we're going to move on to Ready to Love, which is another show that I'm just kind of like, why are we here? All right. I had to switch to the Chardonnay. So I'm working out tomorrow. I had to switch to the Chardonnay, girl. Y'all ever had like the skin on your leg hurt? I hate to call my Francis. Francis is in normal. Hold up, y'all. Because it's not like it's real like tender. I'm trying not to go for 2 times in 1 week again. Like I can afford to do that. Like the fuck. Anyway, y'all, I'm sorry, my leg hurt. Not a fan of any of them. I don't like any of them. And I just want to tell everybody that I was right. Do y'all remember when I told y'all that when men color their hair and their beards, the bitch assness would show up in another way? Do you recall when I said that? No, I need confirmation. Do you recall when I said that? Okay, y'all remember when I said that? Okay. It just hurt. Like when I touch it, like I don't know why, but like when I touch it, it just kind of, I don't know, like a bruise. It feel like that's what it feel like. It feel like a bruise. Y'all know how like when you put stockings on and your legs dry and it feel like it hurt? Like that's what it feel like. I don't know. I've been doing a lot this week. Anyway, I told y'all when these men color their hair and their beards like this, it shows some type of inner insecurity and in the bitch assness seeps out of their pores. And I feel like that's what we saw with Mike. I feel like that's what we saw with Mike this episode. He should be going home next episode, if you ask me. I feel like he is defensive, he's offensive, and he's lame. But because he's dark complected and has a good muscle tone on him and probably can pay his own bills, y'all are going to just act like he is God's gift. And I just want y'all to pay attention. He's coloring his hair. Yes, almost like a tingling. Yeah. My skin does that when my allergies are wild, and it's my legs as well. Okay, really? Allergies? That makes sense. My allergies have been acting stupid. I just took a Mucinex like a minute ago. He's toxic. I said the Beijing seeped into his brain. He was terrible. He was terrible. And I just kind of feel like I knew it was going to show up. I just knew it. I knew it. You know, sad. I didn't want to be right, but here we are. Okay. So the men meet in the lounge. Okay. The men say how hard it is to find a woman of substance. I said, oh, is it? Is it hard for you men to find women of substance? Is that what you think? Yeah, I don't know why, but I feel like that's a lie. I don't think it's hard for men to find women of substance. I feel like all of the women on this show are women of substance. They have things going for them. They have businesses. They have, meaning that they don't want to be with you just so that you can take care of them. That's the one thing that all of the women on all of these shows will usually have going for them. None of these women are gold digging bums that are only looking for a man to take care of them. So what substance could y'all possibly be looking for in these women? Just because a woman does not vibe with you, just because y'all do not have good conversations together, does not mean that woman is less valuable. It means that y'all just don't mesh. Y'all just don't gel. And men seem to believe that if they don't like a woman or a woman doesn't like them, something must be wrong with the woman. And that's what I don't like about Mike and Justice specifically, because they will take the standpoint that because this woman doesn't like them, something's wrong with the woman, instead of y'all are just not compatible. You see what I'm saying? Child, I'm not gonna say anything about the wigs. I'm not gonna say anything about April's crunchy sideburns. I'm not gonna say anything about Shakira wearing church lady wigs, Trinika, and you know, her I just want to put my titties all in your face situation. Like, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay. Thank you, 2Ls, for the super chat. The title should be Ready to Lie. Men stay lying. Thank you for the super chat. They lying. They ready to lie and fuck. Okay, if they can. But it seems that they may not be able to, because I don't find any of these men particularly charming. Like, I'm just saying. There are a couple that don't seem that bad. LJ doesn't seem that bad. That's it for right now. LJ is the only one that I'm gonna say doesn't seem that bad. Swayze doesn't seem that bad. Oh God, I know. Leave me alone. So yeah, well, I'm sorry. Let's move on. So yes, the men meet in the men's lounge. They say it's hard to find a woman of substance. They have to step outside of the box this episode. This go around and date women they wouldn't normally date, I guess. LJ goes on a date with Lumi. Lumi just came back from her stint with COVID. She says that he was the only one who got her phone number and actually made an effort to get to know her, which makes me feel like we have another crowd of men that are looking for women to chase them. So she wants to be with someone who is real and who wants to make her their focus. Lumi has no family, so the person that she's with, she wants to be able to depend on that person if need be. And LJ understands this because most of his family is back on the island. So he can be there for her. I guess they can have a codependent relationship in some respect that will be healthy for both of them, is what I'm jiving from this conversation. Shakira says, okay, yeah, because Shakira met up with Zoe, right? Yes. Shakira says that Zoe didn't ask for her number. So how are they supposed to get to know each other? He wanted to get to know her more. He wants her number now. I was just like, okay, yeah, because they went on a date. He's a single man. She's a single mom of a young child. He says he doesn't have a preference for a woman to not have kids. He has a child on his own. So that was a misconception about him, was that I guess he didn't want to be with someone who was a single parent. I don't know, because he's a single parent. So I don't know. I feel like the only person that has a right to say I don't want to be with someone with a child is somebody who doesn't have a child. Like, That's the only person that has a right to say that. If you have children that you just so happen don't have to not have to take care of on a daily basis because you have a penis, yeah, I feel like you don't get to say you don't want to be with a woman with kids when you already have some. Like you just don't take care of them the way women have to take care of their kids. So you want a woman that doesn't have to split her time between you and a child and a job. And I feel like grow the fuck up. But yeah, I don't like Zoe. He's another one that's coloring his beard. He's another one that's acting like it's so hard to find a good woman out here, which I feel like is bullshit. It's really more of an issue finding men that are compatible in relationships, meaning men that won't try to control and abuse women so that they can get some type of sex doll made mother out of, a woman. Anyway, so Samson and Sharice go on a date to get some ice cream. Samson says he wasn't really feeling Sharice, but once they sit down to talk and, she has his undivided attention and vice versa, they talk about both having upbringings, on farms and things of that nature. He tells her about his dad passing away, and his mom wanting him to find someone, and she, would be okay with this process. The conversation was easy. They were laughing a lot. They were feeling each other. She definitely went up on his list. And to me, that was probably more of a signal that Samson is easy to get along with, better personality. And this is what I'm talking about with a lot of you men. A lot of y'all can't hold a conversation. A lot of y'all are not good listeners. A lot of y'all have shitty attitudes. And then you bad attitudes because women are not begging you for dick. But see, because you're in the process of begging for a vagina, if you get or you want the vagina because you see it and you want it, and the vagina doesn't want you, then all of a sudden you're mad and the woman has a bad attitude because you've been rebuffed. So it's a lot of delusion that goes along with men and how they look at and the way they process women. So that's why I can't always trust what they say, because a lot of it is coming from their own delusions about themselves. So Samson being able to have a good conversation with Sharice made me feel like that was more so of a sign of Samson being someone that is, easygoing, and can have a conversation with anybody. I like Samson, but I don't want you to be my therapist either. And that's why I don't know how I feel about him. Like, I do recognize that he is easier to get along with, but that also makes me raise my eyebrow at him even more so. Like, why is it that you seem to be the only guy that's not an asshole amongst these group of assholes? Is it because you're just better than them at hiding it? Like, that's, I don't know you enough yet. So I'm waiting. But I still feel like that was a testament of him having a good personality, at least what he shows to people. A lot of these men can't even fake a good personality if they try, because they can't help themselves. They're sensitive. And then they act like women are the ones that are sensitive. But no, any little thing, and y'all can't take it. We're about to get into it. So Mike, Swayze, Justice, Kayla, Lumi, Sharice all meet up. Mike and Kayla sit and talk. There's some guarded flirtation because Mike is guarded, and therefore the women are guarded. But he acts like, it's always them, it's not him, right? April comes over and sits down on him to break up the conversation because she, I think, had been left alone. And Kayla is slightly bothered that she came and interrupted their conversation. But it's like, if there are 4 women and 3 men, like, I don't know what y'all thought was going to happen. Was it? Yeah, no. It was 3 men and 3 women. So what happened? Right. So Mike was talking to Kayla. Swayze was talking to Lumi. And Justice was talking to Sharice. I don't know who was talking to who. No. And then it was April. So yeah, it was 4 women and 3 men. Yeah, I was right. 4 women, 3 men. What did y'all think was going to happen? They do this type of shit on purpose so that a woman will have to go and interrupt the date and cause friction. But to me, Mike doesn't even know how to deal with the banter. Like, a lot of women can go back and forth because they have brains. It's called conversation. It's called banter. It's not always like a negative thing. It's not always an argumentative thing, but we're having a conversation that can sometimes be in opposition of one another. It doesn't mean it's an argument, but he can't take it Like this lady literally has her ass in his lap and he doesn't like the conversation because she's telling him that if you're interested in me, then just let me know you're interested in me and I'll leave the door open. But if you're not interested, based off the way you have responded to me, I felt like you weren't interested. That's all she said. And he made it seem like it was the hardest conversation he had ever had. I'm like, it's because you lack in communication skills. Like to me, Mike is lacking in communication skills. So anytime he's having a conversation with the woman and it doesn't feel like it's going the way he wants it to go, it becomes a insecurity thing. So then he gets triggered. So then he's defensive. That's what it seems like to me. Because he felt like the conversation with her with drama. And I'm like, this lady literally is sitting in your lap with her arms around your neck, telling you that she wants you to tell her if you're interested or not. And you're finding this conversation difficult. Like, my nigga, what's wrong? Are you scared you're going to sweat on her? Like, what's happening? You know, like she might have some, pro gel in the back she can hand over to you. So Justice and Lumi talk, which she thought was a favor to her since she was just coming back into the group. I was just like, send Justice home immediately. Send him home immediately. He's another one that thinks way too highly of himself in this setting. Like, you don't have to take women out on dates. You're doing Lumi a favor by having a conversation with her. You're not even that interesting. Please move away from me with this. Swayze and Kayla talk and flirt. Very cute. Mike talks to Sharice. She says that he's a great guy, but he has some baggage with his kids and his ex-wife. He gets offended that she says that that's baggage. He says that's a red flag for him. She's 45 without kids. I said, first the fuck all. You're going to now come at this onto her age while also calling her eggs dried up. Like, he was doing a lot, all because she said there's nothing wrong with you having an ex-wife and children. I don't want to be with someone who has an ex-wife and children, which, yeah, it may be, I don't know, a little crazy for a 43-year-old woman at this point in her life to expect another 40-something-year-old man to never have been married before and never have had children at this age. Yeah, it might be a stretch, but apparently it's not that much of a stretch because there are people on this show who have not been married, who do not have any children. So you're getting offended that a woman you may be, interested in is not interested in you because of your life. He got really upset about that. He got really upset and went after her. Like, I think it's a red flag that you don't have any kids at 40, 45 years old. Why is that a red flag for a grown-ass woman at 43 years old to not have any children, especially if she hasn't been married before? Why is that a bad thing? I just didn't like her calling it baggage. It is baggage. Like that. Like, I understand that people might take that as a bad thing, but do you not have to pick your kids up and take them with you when you go places? Like, if you move from one place to another, don't you pick your kids up and take them with you? Baggage. And honestly, I feel like it's not even just that he has kids. Him having poor communication skills and the ex-wife tells me there's some woman you argue with on the phone every week. Baggage I don't feel like dealing with. And it's not just that. So when Cherie says I don't feel like dealing with that baggage, I feel like it might just mean I don't want to have to come in and be liked by your children. I don't want to have to come in and deal with whatever the relationship is with your ex-wife and the children. Like, I don't want to have to deal with that. I mean, how old are his kids? Hey, that's a good question. But it doesn't matter either way. If she doesn't want to deal with that, she's entitled to not have to deal with it. Men call it baggage when women have kids. They do, which is why I don't understand why anybody's upset that she said that. Like, she's just honest. And I think that a man cannot deal with things he finds negative about a woman. He can't deal with those things being put right back at him. That's why he came at her the way he did. Like, why are you that upset? Like, just be like, okay, Sharice, obviously, our lives don't match for what you want. That's not a bad thing. See, I was confused when people made it a thing because she said baggage. I don't know. It's not a big deal to me. It's not a bad thing. But if you have an ex-wife, if you have children with an ex-wife, that's fucking baggage. Like, it's not a bad thing, but it's life, It's something that a person coming into your life will have to deal with. And if she don't want to deal with that, then she don't have to deal with that. As a single mother, I wouldn't want a man to say that about my kids. You can say that in a much better way. Yeah, I'm sure. I just, I feel like it wasn't like she was saying just the kids. He don't just have kids. He also has an ex-wife. So I don't know why, but it made me feel like in their conversation, she probably assumed that his situation is not pleasant all the time. And a lot of these men who don't have good communication skills don't have good, situations with their exes and the children. Like they just don't. So it's like, why do I want to deal with that if I don't want to deal with that? It is extremely hard to connect with people who have children. Their life is completely different. I'm 42. And that's another thing. Too. Hold up. Bye, Kayla. Not feeling her. In my opinion, she is definitely here for the clicks, follows, and views. I'm not mad at all. She's just not here for love, and it gets annoying to watch. Her energy is a tad stink on this show. I'm not even gonna lie. Like she always look like she smells something that stink. But yeah, he got big mad that she said that. It was funny to me. Randall and Trinika, they go on a date. She says he's easy on the eyes. She's very nurturing and affectionate. It's a lot of smiling and rubbing and titty, wiggling and oh my God. And yes, and I was just kind of like, okay. Like Trinika sexy, she's giving big titties and hips and ass and flighty and light and high in the voice, and it's all very surface level. Yeah, I'm like, okay, fine, all that. So Swayze invites Brandy, Kadian, and Mike on an archery date, which I thought was really dope. That's something I would want to do. Kadian, Katie child, Katie, we're gonna call her Katie child. Katie and Mike talk. Y'all, Mike was so like bitch made for the way he described this conversation, talking about he felt like he was being interviewed. She eating and interviewing him. Y'all is somewhere where the food is on a table, buffet style, and y'all are doing archery. So if I stop to eat, that's the time to have conversation when we're not doing the archery, right? Why was it an issue for her to be eating and asking questions? That's not hard to do, Mike. Are you slow or something that you feel like someone should not be able to both like ask a question and take a bite of food at the same time? Like you don't think that that's something people often talk and eat at the same time? That's like a normal life thing. To me, you don't like being asked questions that you can't comfortably answer, and that's not her problem. I also feel like anytime a man says on this show they don't like being asked questions, I'm annoyed. What do you think is going to happen on this show? You're going to get asked quick fire questions about your life as to understand you as quickly as possible, because this is a time game. They don't have forever to peel back layers. They're going to have to ask you the questions that come up in the moment. Answer the questions and move on. Why is this so fucking hard? Why is it so hard? I don't have a problem with Mike. I wish that Mike didn't have a problem with every woman he had a conversation with on this show. Like, maybe it's just me. Like, but I feel like it's weird as fuck for a dude to come on a dating show and then get upset when people ask him questions about himself. You know what I'm saying? Or for people to say you're just not my type when you have literally gone in confessionals to down the girls because who was it? Basically downed a girl who left on the first day because she was a around the way girl, and he can get those back at home. He ain't impressed. So you can say you're not impressed that this beautiful woman who you just don't mesh well with or who you're not attracted to, I'm not impressed. Like, you had to shade her in that way in the confessional off rip. But I can't say that, you handle yourself real bitch made when it seems you come into contact with a woman that's not trying to feign weakness for your ego's sake. Like, to me, that's what it feels like. It feels like with Mike, he's one of those men whose ego is so fragile that having conversations with a woman that is strong in her convictions and in her conversation is very task. It's a hard task for him. Yes, Dominica. The way Mike talked about Dominica was the first thing that really, like, you don't like the women that look like you. You don't like the women who come from where you come from. First red flag. First red flag. Bondi, you just fine. Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate you, love. What else is going on? So yes, Mike is bothered by being asked questions. He says she seems uptight. She says that's not her. So what's uptight? I don't think I'm uptight at all. So what's uptight? And he says that she was too aggressive for him. And she says aggressive. Oh no, she didn't say aggressive. She said, oh, well, maybe you're an introvert because it's really seeming like, you have a hard time communicating and explaining yourself. So maybe you're an introvert. Maybe we should, start calling you something she said, but he got mad. He was really upset that she said he was an introvert. So you can't understand how she didn't like being called uptight, which to me, I didn't like the uptight comment because that always makes me feel like a man is trying to mind trick a woman into being more open than she wants to be with him or than she's comfortable with being. So if I don't want to be affectionate, if I don't want to kiss you, if I don't want to screw you, then all of a sudden I'm uptight. Or if I'm not acquiescing to you in some respect, I'm uptight. No, nigga, I'm me, you're you. Those two things are not going to always gel. And if they don't, it doesn't mean I'm aggressive and something's wrong with me. And that's why I don't like the way he talks. Okay? Kazee says he seemed like an introvert. He says she's wrong. She just feels like that because he's not talking to her. And it's because he doesn't care what she has to say. I was just like, you're really childish. Like, who says I might seem like an introvert to you because I'm just not talking because I don't care what you have to say. Then why are you talking to her? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why are you sitting in this woman's face talking to her if you don't care what she has to say? You just called her uptight. That was a conversation. That was you talking. You could communicate that she was uptight. She communicates you're an introvert, and now all of a sudden, okay. Get this weak ass nigga away from me. Like, I'm sorry. Because you can't handle. Like, you can't handle your shit. That's why you so bothered by the women that come off with it, off rip, asking questions. Why would you say that? Why do you say that? Like, I throw that right back on you. You don't like that, right? You wanted me to internalize what you said and then all of a sudden become insecure. And that way you could try to make me feel better. And then you now have the upper hand. Was that the type of mind game you were trying to play with that woman? And it didn't happen the way you thought it was going to happen. So now you're disinterested. This. I'm going to tell you the truth. And I used to hear this from young black men growing up, and I used to always hate it because I always thought it was such a slap in the face to the black people that used to die for the ability to be educated. Because people died so that you could read. And men will, like black men, black boys will actively, and just say it out loud. I don't read. Don't want to pick up a book. Don't want to read. I don't read. Well, guess what? Now that you're an adult and you can't have a full-fledged conversation with banter, you can't verbally spar without getting in your emotions, it's because you can't communicate. It's because you did not read growing up. I'm sorry, y'all. But a lot of you niggas are slow. And y'all get frustrated that intellectually you're not where you should be when you're having these conversations with these women. So because that's upsetting to you, you're going to lean on your misogyny. You're going to lean on, devaluing a woman because you don't know how to actively articulate your opinions and feelings without being defensive. It's so sad. Or say you sound white because you can articulate well. Oh, girl. Listen, I'm sorry. I know a lot of y'all was gonna get y'all feelings hurt with that, men, even though it's not a lot of y'all that watch me. But a lot of y'all can't speak because y'all were told that it was, I guess, lame to read. But y'all have a lack of communication. Y'all don't know how to talk. Y'all don't know how to speak. And then you get, really frustrated, and then you blame the woman. Now she's aggressive, she's bad, whatever it is, it's now her fault because you're too insecure to go and pick up a book, listen to an audio book, and get your vocabulary and get your wordage together. Like, it's not too late. It's something that can be improved upon, but you have to be real about it in order to improve upon it. I mean, y'all, I can't, like, how many shows and shit do we watch where these niggas are like barely okay? Like, for instance, Belle Collective, Jerez, over there wasting all of his mama's money on college. Anyway, and I'm saying that because I don't feel like he's really doing anything over there but fucking the girls that he meets in a freshman class, or the girls that come and do classes there on the summers. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and move on from there. Brandy interrupted the conversation between Kadeen and Mike, and he was so grateful. And so he does all this extra shit with picking her up to hug her and being really physical with her. And because Brandy is the type of woman that, because this man is her type, she's going to acquiesce to what he wants to see from her, which is meek. You know what I'm saying? Like, women know that the men want them to, you know, to put their voices up an octave, and oh, you so sexy and what's going on? Like, give them compliments, stroke their ego, do the, you know, baby the nigga, coddle the nigga thing. He knew Brandy was going to do that, and that's what Brandy came up right behind Kadeen to do. And I was just kind of like it's annoying to me for you to do all of those displays of affection with that woman so that you could try to make what Kadeen feel like, see, it's not me, it's you, because I'm getting along with her. Look, I'm hugging her and we're getting along, so it must be you that's the issue. No, that's not always the case. A lot of times these women will ignore when you say things to them that may be offensive. They'll let it fly. They'll let it go. Because I think that's what Brandy did. Mike sat down with Brandy and said, he said, you know, I'm trying to understand why no one has taken you seriously yet. And she just kind of laughed it off. And, oh, why I haven't found a man? I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. She goes to like defending herself and having why she's, still acceptable and valuable as a date, even though no one has taken her serious. So now she's on the defense, right? Y'all saw how simple it was. He did all of that hugging, all of that affection, and literally asked Brandy, what's wrong with you since nobody has taken you seriously? Now, just because I'm not in a relationship right now and I'm on this show, why does that make you feel like no one has ever taken her seriously? No, it's a way for you to put her on the defense. Now she's having to think about how people may perceive something wrong with her. So now she has to defend herself. And now she's going to do the thing that people pleasing women tend to do, which is try to be as appeasing and try to be as, feminine and acquiesce in all the ways so that you will see she's not crazy and she's not going to give you a hard time. It was a mind game he played with Brandy as soon as she sat down. And because she allowed it, she might be just as astute as Kadeen, but not in the mindset to just go ahead and call a thing as soon as she saw it. And that's the problem. Because there's always going to be a woman that is going to ignore the disrespect because she's going to think it means nothing when it means so much. Okay? It means so much. All right? But that's because y'all really don't pay attention. Y'all don't think the way people speak and the things that they say are indicative of attitudes and patterns that they display in the way they treat people. Okay. So when I tell y'all that a nigga is Beijinging their hair and their beard and it's going to show up in the way that they deal with these women, and y'all like, Bondi, how? And I'm like, look at him. Look at him. Looking for a reason to make the woman the bad guy in some respect, lacking in some respect, devalued in some way, so that she will then have to prove herself to him instead of him, the man, having to prove himself to her, because that is what is supposed to happen. Men are supposed to court women. Like, if we're going to do heterosexual relationships where you want women to acquiesce and be feminine and submissive and all of this bullshit, then you need to know that you need to court them into that position. But that's not what y'all want to do. Y'all don't want to court. Y'all don't want to put down y'all best Mac. Y'all don't want to put y'all best game down and hope for the best. Y'all don't want to bet or gamble on a woman. Y'all don't like doing that because y'all end up with y'all face crack, and that's so hard for y'all to deal with rejection, even when y'all are grown-ass men and should have had to deal with rejection so many times in life that you should be okay with it at this point. But you don't be. So you got to play mind games and make the women feel like they're less than. So the women feel like they have to prove something to you in order to be worthy of sleeping on your pillowcases that are dirty. All right. So I'm done with Mike. Swayze and Kadeen, on the other hand, had a really good time, good conversation, good flirtation. And I think that's because Swayze is a little bit better at the banter. He is. I think he can go toe to toe with somebody. But I also feel like be careful, because a man that can do the banter will sometimes do the same thing. They'll go back and forth with you and it'll be cool for a minute until all of a sudden they throw a slug out there that she was like, damn, nigga, I thought we were just playing. Why are you coming for my neck like that? You know what I'm saying? Or if you're a woman that can take those slugs and you throw that shit back just as hard, then his feelings hurt with his little mustache. So I don't really know how I feel about him just yet either, because he's another one that loves to tell us how he has these relationships with older women. Yeah, I'm going to sit on you, Swayze. And I still don't trust the little bitty mustache. You're a firefighter that's giving hoe. I gotta wait and see how I feel about you. Okay? So the men meet up so that they can discuss who they like and who they don't like. Samson says Sharice is moving up on his list because of the date they went on. It was much better than the perception he had of her. Randall is feeling Trinika, of course, because she's giving you come and lay your head on my tiggle bitties. Okay? Head on my pillow, baby, and just relax, cause guess what's next for you? That's what it's feeling like. Okay, it's feeling like, you know, they're about to do some nasty, sweaty titty fucking and stuff. California Cutie, thank you for the super sticker, love. Appreciate you. What else is going on? LJ and Lumi had a really good time. Justice says he also had a good time with Lumi. LJ says, look at him trying to come up behind me. Child, go on away from me with this Justice. Nobody likes Justice. I think that men who keep the lie alive to their will be cool with a nigga like Justice. But men who don't have time for that fugazi fuck shit that he be on, LJ is already like, get this nigga away from me. I feel like LJ is already picking up on Justice's bitch assness. I don't know if he's picked up on anybody else's. But so far, I'm feeling like LJ might be one of the most genuine men here, okay? But we're going to wait and see, because island men can also be what? Hoes, okay? So the men don't like Brandy, April, Sharice, Trinika. Justice didn't like Kadeen. Of course, Mike didn't like Kadeen. LJ says he doesn't have an issue with April, but he doesn't really, he don't really fuck with her like that. A lot of them didn't like April because April wasn't asking them questions about themselves. Swayze talks to Kadeen. She says that she doesn't want a weak man, meaning that any man that had an issue with the way she communicated needed to step their cookies up before they crumbled. And I appreciated her energy about that. Like, I don't want a weak man. I want a man that can deal with my energy. So if those men can't deal with my energy, that's fine. But I'm not going to diminish myself or change myself in some respect so that y'all don't have to step up to the person that I am. Like, no, there's a nigga out here that loves arguing, that will find Kadeen attractive as fuck and will want to have sex with her every time she wants to debate about something. There's a nigga out here that will love that. Okay? Just saying. She don't have to change herself for anybody, because they tried to act like her being boisterous or being assertive was her being disrespectful, and it wasn't. So that's why I'm like, nah, fuck all that. She was never really out of pocket with the way she was talking to anybody. Y'all just didn't like the fact that she was direct. Y'all wanted her to skate around the fucking airport to make y'all feel comfortable, and Kadeen said, no, I'm not doing that shit. I listen, I don't have any issues with her at all. She ended up staying, but they told April that she can go. They told April she can go because they felt like they weren't really connecting with her. And that's that on Ready to Love, girl. All right. We're about to get in. Yes, no, April was so beautiful, but the edges, the headband, the wig, the edges were crunchy. It's like, I realize she listens to advice. Kadeen, she does. I feel like she listens to advice, but I also feel because she said, I'll do better next time. But I also feel like there's a level to this where she understood where the bullshit was coming from. You're mad because I wasn't going to have no bitch ass conversation with you. And men often want women to backpedal or, you know, cower in opposition to them. And it's like, for what? For what? For what? Like, y'all always expect women to react to things in fear, because you're a man, you're stronger, you make the money, like whatever the thing is. Men always expect for women to acquiesce to these things, and it's like women are always having to live in fear of certain aspects, like whether men using money against them, men being able to get away with harming them. Like, so we can't be scared like that, because how will we live when y'all are always putting us at a disadvantage? Being scared all the time wouldn't get us anywhere. That's why women don't act scared. That's why they're not going to, especially not black women. Are you fucking kidding me? We're supposed to act scared of y'all? All of the things we have to deal with, and you want us to act scared too? That's too much. Get out of our facial with this shit, okay? But yeah, no, really, really good conversations, you know, going on with the way men tend to, you know, expect everything for nothing. They expect the world for nothing. Okay. All right, y'all. I can be boisterous like Kadeem. My man likes it, but I found my voice after finding out that meek and mild-ish didn't prevent me from being hurt or and cheated on in the back. Exactly. And that's why diminishing yourself does nothing but that. Diminish you, hurt you, stunt your growth, put a rock up in your throat. Okay, that's really all it does, girl. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and like the video before we move on to Belle Collective, okay? Hot, hot boy Ronald, hot boy Ronald, hot boy Ronald, hot boy Ronald, hot, 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 hot. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. April said I received that and snatched that wig off in the car and I know that's right. They still gonna do it if that's how they move. They just don't want you to speak on it. Exactly. And we're gonna speak. We're gonna speak. All right, we're gonna get it out, whether you like it or not. Okay, whether you like it or not, you puss ass nigga. Whether you like it or not, you puss ass nigga. We're gonna get it out. Okay? Hold up, y'all. It's important to me that we know we are free. 'Cause I never felt this way. Don't change, girl. Oh, don't change. But it really wasn't nobody on there to do much more than throw on a headband wig. I agree. I agree. Wasn't nobody giving nothing like that. All right, y'all. Let's get into Belle Collective, bitch. Belle Collective. Belle Collective. Belle Collective. Okay, let's get into it. All right. We did get to see JJ, child. Hilarious. JJ and them two little bitty ponytails is always just as hilarious as he want to be. Okay. Sanjay baby daddy. Okay. Okay, Sanjay daddy baby. That's what I meant to say. Okay, Sanjay daddy baby. Okay. Listen, if y'all don't know nothing about So Gucci old man JJ, he used to be on Dancing Dolls back in the day. And he will come on out there and kick a flip, hit a toe touch real quick, real fast, and going about his business. So him and his wife's energy with Latrice and Cliff this episode was very good, girl. It was a good time had by all. I was here for the rich old ladiness of Latrice, okay? But let's go ahead and press on. So Marie and Tisha are screaming at each other to the top of their damn lungs in a vestibule in the men's bathroom of this vacant hall space that they at, child. I don't know. But Latrice and Essie talked to one another, and Essie was trying to explain to Latrice how hard this has been. Yes, and Star and Sky. I'm not gonna forget about Star and Sky, child. Okay. But I just always remember him always saying Sanjay daddy baby. You know what I'm saying? Saying all in one like that. I cannot. But Sky and Star look the most like him. Okay, no lie. So yes, okay. Tisha wants Latrice to talk to Marie And Latrice eventually agrees to give it 2 minutes, girl. All right, 2 minutes. Child, I love the way Latrice kept that jacket over her shoulders the whole time. Okay, bitch, that's some shit I do. Okay, because well, some old 70s mahogany ass coat, you know what I'm saying, over the shit on the shoulders, girl. I'm good for that. Okay, no, a bitch is good for an old nasty hat. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the winter months. Give me a good slack and a boot with a heel and a long nice jacket with a stylish shirt tucked in the pants, bitch. Give it to me, okay? So I could twerk it. Anyway, that's what it was giving. She was cute. Akeisha says that she doesn't ever want to be invited to another one of these ever again. This is just graceful. This is just the most ridiculous thing, girl. All right, bye, Akeisha. Anyway, Tisha says Latrice tried to stop the rumors that were being put out on Marie. No, she didn't. But ain't no stopping. No, first of all, let's be very clear. I was here. The rumors about Marie and her business practices came out before Latrice said anything on the reunion show. It was out for a while. Brian. It was out for a while before Latrice said anything on the reunion show. I personally believe that whoever you must have made feel the way, Marie, with your nasty ass attitude in business, probably felt the need to dig up some dirt on you or put your shit on Front Street because they don't like you. Okay? And Latrice, being another bitch that don't like you, took the tea and spilled it on national television, and you real mad and upset about it. So now you can't even be in her presence without acting, looking, and feeling bothered. And to me, that's a shame because you a grown-ass woman and should never be this bothered by another woman. If it didn't ruin your business, if you still making your money, if it didn't break your back, guess what, bitch? Move on. You don't have to talk to her. You have to be cool with her, but it's a business situation. So be nice, nasty, throw your little shade and move the fuck on, okay? Because all of this extra shit, I can't do it. Because I can't deal with. She tried to ruin me. Girl, you tried to ruin yourself when you let your ass have all them damn children come into your house to take care of. You ruined your damn self when you let your mama come back into your house knowing she wasn't 100% clean. You better make sure nothing go missing up and around there. You gave Cedric all the chances in the world to give you all of the VDs and STDs and everything with his whole habitual cheating ass. You gave a whole bunch of people a whole bunch of chances to fuck up your life, and now you're going to act like Latrice is the worst of the worst, girl? Your family members have done you worse than Latrice. I'm just saying. That's just my observation, Marie. Your own family has done you worse. And we do not need for you and Essie to consistently let us know that y'all are not in a lesbian relationship. If y'all are not in a lesbian relationship, that's fine with us. You like the penis? That's great. It's giving you lying, though. But I'm going to let you live. You could like both. Nobody says you couldn't like both. But y'all absolutely seem like the type of women that would have been either gay or bisexual in school. Coming from one to another. From one to another. But it feel like y'all probably do. The attitudes, the energies, the personalities. It's fine. But I'm just saying. What else is going on? Marie says that she's direct and that's why people don't like her. Partially. Also because you're abrasive, rude, showy, obnoxious, and delusional at times. There are a whole bunch of reasons, Marie, not just that one. But you know what, girl? I'm not here to shit on you. You're a great businesswoman. I hate the blonde wig. Latrice needs to own her part in the part she played. Latrice said, listen, I wasn't trying to. Latrice, girl, look. Somebody said that, I was wrong and Latrice was lying. I was like, what Latrice was lying about? I hadn't seen this episode yet. I didn't even do a review. So I don't know why I was wrong about a conversation I ain't had yet. But Latrice, you absolutely had the time to go and find out some negative shit about Marie because you didn't like her to bring to the show. So just say, yeah, bitch, I ain't like you. I ain't like the way you was coming at me. So when the tea came to my door, I spilt it. Sure did. Don't like you. Didn't like you then. Still don't like you now. So I did that shit. Yes, I sure did. Yep. Put it out there. Now, did I create it? No. Did I help get it to the viewers of this show? Maybe. Maybe. And I say maybe because most of us knew about that shit before Latrice said anything on the reunion show. Anybody that follows the show knew about it before Latrice said anything. My opinion. So, eventually Marie just decides to leave. And because Tisha is tired of screaming back and forth with her, I said, Letitia, do you want to fuck her? Like, what is going on? Like, y'all just have a lot of overly emotional interactions with y'all friends that I feel like you need to go and calm down so that you can have a conversation that is at, you know, a lower level in voice. Because y'all hoes is screaming and hollering for no reason. Like, it's just giving, you know, it's giving teenage love affair tease. I don't know. Akeisha called Melanie to complain about the event while Tisha was crying on a producer's shoulder in the bathroom. I said, Tisha, pull it together. Who you crying about? Who you crying for? You gonna take Glenn back? You gonna take Marie back too after she just shitted on your whole event? So what you in the bathroom crying for, girl? What's going on? Tisha comes back to the table after she's done gathering herself, and they discuss how Akeisha was talking all of that shit. And they were saying how they wish she would have had better energy. And they do one last affirmation. And, you know, and the affirmation is life is happening for you, not to you. And then they go ahead and move on from there. I said, girl, the fact that you even tried to come back for this is ridiculous. Letitia, get it together, girl. I'm going to just go ahead and tell you the brunch was given. Did you cook the food yourself, Letitia? Letitia, don't ever in your fucking life cook no food for no brunch. What are you talking about? Why are you cooking your own food for the brunch, Letitia? That's why the bacon and the waffles was burnt, y'all, because Letitia had to do 99 things at one time. She was cutting corners. She was cutting corners. I'm like, if you don't take them ladies down to a brunch, down to one of them nice hotels and stop with this fucking plan, like, you can just invite them out and just have all your place cards and shit that you want to lay out at the table that you've already, you know, got you a little reserved table or something. Y'all need to do better. It's just, it's giving. I'm trying so very hard to seem professional, but I'm still not doing it right, is what it's giving, Letitia. That's what it's giving, girl. It's giving, I want to be a businesswoman, but I'm not really doing it. That's what it's giving. And it's sad because you need to just do it. Like, why do you only have to get land? Why can't you get land like right outside of Fair Street and then work your way in? Like, why does it have to be Fair Street or nothing? It's almost as if you don't really have a dream in this. Not for real, for real. Okay. Just something you want to say for a television show. But anyway, so Gucci and JJ go over to Latrice and Cliff's 300 acres of land on their lodge and their event space. That's, girl, you mean to tell me you could have called Latrice and asked her if she could have used the lodge as an event space for one of these brunches, girl, and had somebody catered it and cut the cost that way? Like, you could have did that and then have her do like a co-host situation. Like, really? Oh my God, y'all. Hold on. Scotty did say they haven't done anything with it since the show started. Since what you mean? Anything with what? With Fair Street? They haven't done anything on that street since the show started. And that's what I'm saying. Like, why you can't just go get you something, you know, something small to do on Fair Street first? You know, like, just buy and then rent out a space. Like, you could, you know what I'm saying, start small, but like, I just kind of feel like if I'm trying to be in real estate, period, if I'm trying to have businesses, period, it doesn't have to be in one specific spot, because one building can help you get another. So I just, you know, whatever. Either way, moving on to So Gucci and Latrice, them 300 acres of and 300 acres of land was very nice, beautiful. They took a nice little ATV ride through the property, and then they were slinging mud, child. They was having them a good old time. They go to the lodge to talk about the brunch. So Gucci feels like Akeisha needed to be more supportive. So Gucci, I agree. Latrice says that she didn't start a rumor. She doesn't care enough to talk about Marie. Yes, you do. She's a woman. She possesses class, and Marie doesn't. Latrice, calm down. You putting 20 on 10, sis. You putting 20 on 10. Bring it on down, okay? Latrice talks about not wanting to have a baby with Cliff. She's afraid of putting her kid through what she went through growing up, because y'all know that Latrice's daddy was in jail, and then both of her brothers were killed, and they were also father figures. And then I believe there was another father figure along the way that might have went to jail or got killed or something along those lines. And so she doesn't want to have children because it will just be her. And she doesn't want that child to not have a father if she decides to leave Cliff's old angry ass at some point. I feel like Latrice should, girl, Latrice, don't do it. If you don't want no baby, don't have no baby. If you don't want to have a baby, don't have a baby. I really do feel like this is not one of those conversations where you can compromise. I know everybody feels like that, you know, or when it comes to having children, you should compromise. No, I don't agree with that at all. I think that's stupid. I think that only one person ends up being solely responsible for those children, and that's the woman. The woman is always the one that has to squeeze the baby out of her vagina. She has to almost die to get it here. She has to then be out of commission in order to heal her body from having the baby. The baby is independent upon her body. And, you know, at some point, if the man doesn't want to be there, he can just up and leave because he needs a mental health break or whatever the fuck. And trusting that his woman will take care of, or the mother will take care of the child, means he can just go and do whatever the hell he wants to without any real reverence like the mother has to have. The mother can't go to work and not think about where the child is going to go. The mother can't go and, you know, go on a date on Saturday night or go on a trip without having to worry about where her child is going to be. A man, once he is no longer, or honestly, it doesn't matter whether a man is with a woman or not. If he decides he wants to get up and go do something, he can do it without even thinking about where his child is going to be, because he's going to trust that the woman is going to take care of the child, which is why women should never have children unless they absolutely want to have those children. I don't care what you're talking about. I don't give a fuck. If a man want to have children that bad, even if the woman don't want to have the children, I guess you need to go and be with somebody else. That's something that's a deal breaker, boo. That's a deal breaker. That's a deal breaker. That's a deal breaker. Because to me, like Latrice's mama told her later on in the episode, we can just go ahead and skip right to it. Cliff wants you to have a baby so that you will have to slow down, and then he can guilt you into not doing the things you want to do with your life, because he'll say you're a mother. You have to think about the child. He'll then make it seem as if you're not being a good mother if you're not doing what he wants you to do. What he wants you to do and the child's needs together, and then it'll be on you whether you're being a good mother or not, whether you're doing what he needs you to do or not. And it won't ever be about what you need. It'll always be about him and the baby. So no, Latrice, don't have no damn kid if you don't want to. And I wish you would listen to your mama telling you that Cliff is just like your damn daddy. And maybe you don't know because he was in jail, girl. But listen to your mama advice. Even though I feel like Cliff is probably one of those people that brings value to Latrice's life, I think Latrice can do better. And I think that there are a lot of women that forego full-blown happiness and freedom for the security of a relationship, especially the security of a man that can provide security. You know what I'm saying? There's a man that can fix shit. It's a man that has his own money. He can take care of things. He's not a bum. This is a man, you know, that's an older man. So he might have his connections or whatever, you know, about him that brought you to him. Those things are still, you know, they're still there. Ultimately, you know. Everyone under the sound of Bondi voice, listen to her. Don't do it if you don't want a baby. Under pressure and stress, men will walk away. Women will be condemned for even taking a break. Exactly. So don't do it, girls. Don't do it, okay? Only have children that you can take care of on your own. It's always how I think about it, because you just never know how these niggas gonna be once that child is in the world, expecting, wanting, and needing attention, food, provisions, and all the things that are stressful to give to themselves as grown-ass people, let alone to themselves and a baby and possibly the mother. Which y'all know how they love to separate the mother from the child so that they don't have to be responsible for the woman, even though if it were not for the woman, there would be no child. Child, I cannot. So Tambra and Akeisha meet up. Akeisha is still upset about the brunch, which to me reinforces my feeling that Akeisha is just trying to shit on everybody and make herself feel better, which shows me there's some inadequacy in her life that we haven't seen yet. Akeisha says that she was attacked by the Pillahatchee posse, which is, I'm sure she's referring to Tisha's family and friends who were at the brunch and decided to gather her when she did too much running at the mouth about how unprofessional Tisha was. Of course, her family gonna be like, bitch, you could go. Like, why you keep talking shit? You sat there with your nasty attitude, running your mouth. Oh, this is just so beneath me. Dirty plates. And what kind of shit is this? I've never. Like, nobody wants to hear that. Either leave or shut the fuck. Like, pick one. Leave or shut the fuck up. Do one or the other. But you're not going to sit in front of people, family members, and keep talking shit about them and think they're not going to say anything to you, Akeisha. Because I feel like that's what you were doing. And that lady, people defended her to you. And now you're acting like they attacked you when you sat there and constantly had to let it be known how uncomfortable and how unhappy you were with the event, as if you could not have just gotten up and fucking left at some point. Okay? Like you did. And then to get on the phone and call Melody and scream and holler about how terrible it was just, girl, like, you really want to have a moment off this, don't you? And this is what they do at all of these events. They get together and argue. Okay, what did you expect? Child, Tambra says Tisha really does want to empower women. She really does, she's serious about doing that. Okay, Akeisha is still mad about the dirty plate. Tambra asked about Ferris Street, and she says she's not petty enough to not still work on Ferris Street with her, so she'll still do that. Let's see what else. They talk about Akeisha going through IVF and being told that she wouldn't be able to have children and having an IUI, all for her to have her 2 babies naturally. I ain't gonna lie. I was very I love that story, and it made me feel good for her and for Tambra, because we all know, like, as you get older, you haven't had kids. People like, I let somebody make me feel a way, like, a while ago, I told y'all somebody had asked me that shit twice in one day. Oh, why don't you have any kids? And it's like, because, bitch, I just got off birth control 2 years ago. Do you really want to have a motherfucking conversation about my birth control regimen right now? Is that your business? Is that something you want to talk about with me? Or are you looking for a reason to make me seem like I'm less than a woman because I have everything but the children? Even though I really could go without the motherfuckers, because y'all just don't look like y'all are having fun. It's all fun and games when they all cute and shit. Okay? But when they tiring everybody the fuck out, it doesn't look fun. I'm sorry. It doesn't look fun. So just 2 years being off birth control, bitch. I have not had a child yet. I'm not rushing to have one. Y'all can have that shit. And y'all really be because they don't have kids. Leave me alone. Okay, leave me alone. But I'm happy that it worked out in the way that it worked out. I appreciate her saying, Akeisha saying that when it's time, it'll happen. Because I'm really at a point where I feel like I don't want any children right now. I don't like the school system where I'm living. I don't have enough money. And everybody always, oh girl, you can never have enough money. Listen, just because y'all were okay struggling with children does not mean everybody wants to struggle with children. It does not mean everybody wants to be having to figure out what they're gonna do so that they can make sure their kid have I don't want to have to live like that. Okay. So, like, excuse the fuck out of me if I don't want to struggle just so I can be like everybody else. Because y'all do that to us, okay? Y'all do that to us, and I'm going to just tell y'all be wrong. So, thank y'all. Thank you, Shakia, for the super chat. So, I'm confused by Akeisha being all high sanity like this. Sadiddy, did you mean Sadiddy or Sanity? When she used to be an actress on BET show Hell Day. Somebody told me that. Somebody said that, girl. I guess she was trying to find her a baller back then. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, I remember having conversations with people when I was in my 20s, and me and Lyric were together for years at this point, and people would just be, oh, y'all don't have kids yet, and they would just be having kids all willy-nilly, and I'd be like, damn, y'all ain't, nobody's scared to be out here having all these fucking children and shit like this. And the money ain't all the way right like that. Like, I know your money ain't all the way right like that, because your money ain't better than my money, and my money ain't all the way right like that for no fucking kids. So I know your shit ain't all the way right. So I'm in my mind, I'm just kind of like tallying and all of that, and I'm like, damn, ain't no fear. Lies. Motherfuckers be scared as hell with these kids, and then still out here, oh girl, it don't matter, you could do it. Y'all go to hell. Okay, y'all can go to hell. Okay, because I'm telling y'all, oh Lord, Hey Adrian, that school thing ain't no joke. My son's private school tuition is $60K a year in Manhattan because the best guy public schools are so bad. We do well, send him there. Take your time. Girl, did you say 67K a year? Do I need to start like what do I need to I need to make more money. Lord have mercy. I gotta get on Teespring and sell y'all some t-shirts. The fuck? I can't afford that. I can't afford that. Like what? Go to hell. Go to hell. No, I don't know. Mm-mm. Listen, I will mother the internet, bitch. I will be a mother figure to these motherfucking internets. I've already done it. I've already been a mother figure to the streets, bitch. I don't need to be one in my financial life either. So I waited until I turned 33, married, and was mentally ready. She's 10 months and life's good. Oh, that's good, Ebony. That's so good. I'm 34 and still no. Okay, like no. Just no. Um who? Who you talking about? But anyway, so you talking about Akeisha? What? Anyway, what else happened, y'all? Girl, Jerez. Okay, so y'all know they had Raven funeral, right? Because we're gonna go back to Tisha and Akeisha meeting up. But Jerez baby mama Raven had her funeral, and we did talk about the fact that Tamra voice. I paid it's so funny that you say that. It's so fun. I was trying to figure out because I was like, should I do Tamra? Yo, it's so funny. I had Lyric in here dying laughing. She's talking like Tamra because you always have to over enunciate all of your words when you're speaking. And you have to be overly excited about everything. For what reason? I'm not sure. But yes, Tamra's voice is definitely something that you have to get used to because, oh my God, in conversation, it's just like, what is happening right now? I was like, Tamra's voice is terrible, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't know how she's on the radio as the midday queen speaking like that all day. Like, I had Lyric here dying laughing yesterday about Tamra and the way she be so, bitch, stop breaking all the words up like that. Over enunciating all of her words. It's just like, oh my God. I cannot with her. Okay. I cannot with her. Okay. See, y'all talking about these prices for private school. See, no. I don't have no money. I'm not look. So y'all, Tisha and Akeisha meet up. Tisha says that Akeisha's energy was negative. Akeisha said the Pelahatchie posse energy was messed up too. They were ganging up on her and they need to take their ass back down 20. Okay, I 20. Tisha feels like Akeisha was came to the brunch with negative energy, and the Akeisha she talked to over the phone that was all about women's empowerment, child, that's not the energy that she's getting right now from the old girl Akeisha. She's not getting that energy from her right now, and you know that's just very perplexing for her that this is not the woman that she met over the phone and had all those great conversations with. And Akeisha is like, I am the same woman, okay? But you gave me a dirty plate, and then you argued for an hour and a half with a bitch in the bathroom, okay? Like however long it was. I honestly feel like they both annoyed me in this situation because I do feel like Akeisha was you were doing a lot. You wanted to show that this event wasn't successful. You wanted to show that Tisha didn't know what she was doing. You wanted to show that Tisha is all about talk and not really about action with the way she handles her business, because you've been insinuating that about Ferris Street since you got on the show, which makes me feel like that's kind of how you feel about Tisha. So any opportunity to prove that Tisha is on bullshit, Akeisha is trying to show everybody that Tisha's on bullshit. Tisha, Take responsibility for the fact that you did not handle that brunch well at all. And you talking about energy, honestly, I feel like the way you acted a fool with Marie, ran behind Marie, all that screaming and howling and crying and shit, the burnt food, dirty plates, you should have been apologetic to me. It should have been, I'm so sorry, Akeisha, for the way things happen. That's not how I want to represent myself. Things have just been very difficult. And then you start crying to her about Glenn cheating on you and having a baby on you, and Marie and her being responsible for all of them children, and the girl just got killed. And you tell her what's going on in your life to make it make sense as to why your brunch was so dry and unprofessional. Like, give it a fucking break, Tisha. Like, Akeisha's attitude might have been bullshit, but she had every right to have all of the complaints she had. She had every right to feel how she felt. You should have been more apologetic because you fucked up. Period. Period, Pooh. I don't care what you're talking about Akeisha's energy and her attitude. If you had not fumbled the bag in such a way, then you wouldn't, we wouldn't even be having this conversation in the first damn place. So I'm just kind of feeling like, Tisha, your lack of accountability, it's funny to me how women are. Women will a lot of times have the same issues that their men have. Glenn has an issue with accountability, and so do you. And so do you. Anyway, y'all, I'm about to go because I gotta go and do some other things, child. We're gonna try to get this spring situation together. Y'all, I'm trying to get things together. I've been so overwhelmed. So it's like little bit by little bit. Okay, I'm gonna make a list of things I need to do. We're gonna try to scratch something off the list every damn day if I can. Okay. I'm also gonna try to do a double feature for y'all this week, but I'm gonna see because the Ooh Ladies First panel is on my channel this week. So maybe not like I plan to do a double feature week. But definitely between this week and next week, we're gonna do double features for Now That We're Grown. I feel like I want to do Boomerang and then I want to do Baby Boy, or Boomerang and Poetic Justice. I haven't figured out which one yet. But either way, y'all, there are a whole bunch of movies on the list and we will get through them. Tomorrow, I'll come back for Black Ass Bravo and P Valley. And then on Wednesday, y'all will get the Love and Hip Hop, Black In Crew Foolishness. And then Ooh Ladies First panel will be on my channel this week. So I hope to see y'all back when me and the ladies converge together to discuss foolishness. Okay. All right, y'all. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all so very, very much for coming through. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share if you have not already. Thank you, Anthony, for the super chat. Hey, Bondy girl, are you just as bucked up as I am about the reckoning of toxic Black men? Laughing my ass off. It's hilarious and long overdue. Cynthia G is a god. Thank you so much for the super chat. I won't say I'm bucked up about it. I do think the conversation is quite interesting. And I'll do a BondyBlue show at some point this week and we'll discuss it. But I'm not surprised. I do like the fact that it seems as if women are having more standards. I think I've understood for a very long time that women are the ones kind of in control of this. As much as we feel like we're not and men are in control and all of that, like, the who has the pussy has the power, if you ask me. So yeah, but thank you for the super chat, love. And I will definitely come full with y'all tomorrow. All right. So like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget about my website, bondyblueshow.com. And I will see y'all in the next one.